should be like you, Melvin.
Ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Cherries fans around the world, wherever you're watching. Thank you for joining me for this evening for me. I can't believe that we're finally here. If you've been watching the Cherry AM shows, you'll understand the excitement that I've had for this new Cherry Slap show. It is the reaction show for the weekend's football, specifically this weekend, obviously AFC Bournemouth away at Liverpool on Friday night. The show will work a bit differently to the normal shows that you've seen here. There'll be guests coming in and out, hopefully, giving their opinion. Please do get involved in a chat. By all means, click on the link, drop into the lobby below, and I'll try and bring you in and out as much as possible. Alternatively, just watch it and enjoy. But I don't want to take too much time introducing. We're all here for a certain reason, and that is to discuss the football from Friday, which, as expected, was explosive and electric and just what I wanted for the opening game of the season. Well, we'll drop into the chats quickly just to say hello to everyone. Polly, hey Polly, thanks for joining. Love for Antoine, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna get to that in just a moment. Malcolm, good evening, Ollie and everyone in the chat. Yeah, and good evening, Malcolm. He will be joining us in just a moment. Dan Watson, hello. We move on. This was a tough start onto Wolves. Absolutely, Dan. Yeah, we're going to give a full rundown of the game shortly. Opinions, feelings, emotions, absolutely everything, mate. And we'll come on to that. Dan also says, hello, Malcolm. David Dillon, up the Ches. Yeah, absolutely, David. Up the Cherries, mate. Malcolm, hi, Dan. It was tough, but you have to expect that at Anfield. Yeah, absolutely. First game of the season away to the champions at Anfield with what could be said as a discombobulated squad, to say the least. With a defender, centre-back that had just got in from France. France to Anfield, crazy. But we'll get into that in just a moment. David Dillon, evening, Dan, Malcolm and Polly. And some chat going back and forth there, which is fantastic. Down to Polly's comment, can I join in? Absolutely, Polly. There's a link at the top. By all means, click on it and you'll drop into the lobby below. And you can get involved and have your opinions, have your say, have your thoughts. David Dillon will be fine, Malcolm. He assures that everything will be okay moving forward. Sean, I've got you on my TV and messaging on my phone. Nice. So you're going to see a big Ollie screen today, aren't you? I'm going to be encompassing your living room, Sean. Alan Pelly, Ollie, it's Ethan. Yes. Hey, Ethan. Thanks for getting involved, mate. Please do put your thoughts and opinions in the chat, or by all means, get involved on here, however you want to do, mate. Up the Cherries. Yeah, absolutely. Up the Cherries. Sean, I'll leave others to go on, but if needed, I'll always pop on. Guys, if you want to have your opinion, if you want to have your say, I cannot stress, tonight is the night, and every Monday or Tuesday night moving forward for this match reaction and the weekend reaction, to get on, have a couple of minutes. It doesn't have to be on for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It can be a couple of minutes each, just to really give your opinion, your thoughts and feelings on how the match went and how the season's looking moving forward. But without wasting any further time, I want to introduce someone who's going to be co-hosting slightly for me tonight. Everyone who's been watching Cherry AM knows who this face is, so please welcome Malcolm Chiverton. Welcome, Malcolm.
Hi, Ollie. Hello, everybody in the chat. Yep.
Excellent.
Caught me on the hop
Excellent.
a little bit this evening, but it's okay. All good.
That's it. And Malcolm, you'll get used to this in a moment. There's already a guest in the chat, so I want to bring someone in for their opinions, and I'll remove you back out. Bear with me. Let's get the first guest in. Ethan. Hey, Ethan. How you doing?
Mate, the audio. Mate, I'm good. The audio is coming out of my thingy, so it might be echoing. Give me 2 seconds to turn my Bluetooth.
That's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, just struggling to hear you here, but
Mate, it might be my internet, but wait, 2 seconds.
That's okay. That's okay. Ethan, fantastic to have you on, mate. Cherries fan through and through, right? What do you reckon?
Up the Cherries in all departments.
Up the Cherries in all departments.
Mate, I watched it, and like I think the team played well. Like the team played well, and what you said about Diakate, I think he's going to be a good centre back for us. You know, I genuinely do. I've got new hair as well, bro.
Yeah, you look good. You look good. So run down on the first half, mate. I mean, obviously we've come in with a struggling team. We've had people picked apart, but we've reinforced strength. How do you think we performed? How do you think Liverpool performed? More importantly,
well, I mean, Liverpool are the team they were last year, and some. Like I feel like they've added more players to their squad. They've strengthened somehow, even while losing the players too, and like they look like they're going to be very hard to beat, but. I don't know, like the Bournemouth team, I think with Andoni Areola, mate, is almost an upwards. Like, I think the fact we've kept him for this season just shows where the club's going and like where the potential is. Like it's exponential, like literally is.
yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, completely agree. And Matt, I'm not sure if you've watched the previous shows, but that is exactly what we've been echoing. Just this vision and view of the club and where it's going at the moment. Obviously, for Liverpool, it was an emotional tone setter for the first half. You know, Diego Jota tribute, which, again, everyone fell in line with, which was nice to see at the game. Unfortunately, there was some upset, which is going to happen in sporting world. There is no room for racism, as we know, but hand on heart for Anton Semenyo. He was absolutely quality, and it's admirable how he came back and responded, right? So run down on his 2 goals, mate.
You know, even just speaking on the thing, because I was watching it at the Georgian in Christchurch, and we didn't have the sound on, and then when the game was stopped, we were trying to work out what was happening, and I thought it was like an incident in the crowd, like where someone was having like a heart attack or something. But yeah, I know, like for him to be fair, I can't even remember the goal. I think the first goal, like it was like a counter attack from one of their corners, and we just moved the ball so quickly, and I think everyone was thinking he should have probably passed it to the left. He had like 2 options, but then like I think. Last season, well, he was very unlucky not to score more goals. I do think he's going to be like scoring a lot of goals for us this season. I think he's a great player with like, I mean, I don't even know how to put it into the correct words, but I think he's quality.
yeah, absolutely. And apart from Semenyo, any other standout players of the game?
But I do think the new centre back Diakate is going to be a really good signing for us. Like you said, it's just hard to go straight into the team, and like you say, at Anfield, probably one of the toughest away games. And I think once he has a bit more time, I think he's going to be a great player for the club. And I can't really think of any. And you know, the new signing, you might be going on to it later, but Ben or whatever his name is, Doak from Liverpool. Quality, mate. He's so good. Like I think he's going to be a great signing. I'm not trying to think. I wasn't expecting to come into this chat.
No, I've put you on the spot, and I appreciate it. So I'll drop you out now, Ethan. But thank you very much for joining, mate. And cheers for your opinion. Yes, love, bro. Bye for now. And we'll bring back in Malcolm, because I want to hear Malcolm's opinions on the game as well. Malcolm, welcome back. I'm not going to talk too much because of the echo, so I'm going to let you tell me what your thoughts were on Friday.
Okay, yeah. If I dare start, I'm going to start looking at Liverpool. You expect them really strong. With the new players that go in, really, really good transfer business, to be honest with you. I think some supporters are quite sort of disappointed with, or not, thoroughly disappointed, but expected probably a little bit more from 1 or 2 players. Wirtz, he played okay. I think the missing link there was Gravenberch in midfield. Obviously suspended for that game. I think when he comes back in, that's going to be a nice link up for Liverpool. Ekitike up front, just awesome. He's going to be flavour of the month every month, I reckon. Really top draw signing. Frimpong, he did okay, right back, and he will improve as the season goes on. But they need these extra games, coming up. Newcastle away and then Arsenal. I think those are the games they've got. They'll need those games to, get used to each other and find the right tempo.
Yeah.
Also, it's the league. So we're not talking about Community Shield. Yes, they had that game before. It's the Premier League, week in, week out. And then obviously they got Champions League football as well. So it's going to be a tough call on them. The weak point for me was, who is he? Konate at the back.
Yeah.
Sorry to have to say it, but he looked out of place. He really did. And Virgil van Dijk, he needs somebody he can rely on next to him. That would be my only criticism from them, really, to be honest with you. Up front, Mo Salah is Mo Salah. He does what he does best. Kirk is really surprised first half. He wasn't bombing down the wing like we expected him. They expected him to, like he used to at Bournemouth. Different club, different system. A little bit rash in his challenge, wasn't he, on Smithy in the second half? But okay, 4-2 was a 1 goal too many, in my opinion. But that is looking at it from a Liverpool perspective, from as a Bournemouth fan, watching them play, and they're going to be tough. They're going to be tough to beat. I still put them at top at the end of the season, but it's just the first game, so we'll see how it goes against the big boys, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that, Malcolm. I'll bring you back in a couple of minutes' time. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I want to touch on now, and I also want to come into the chat as well to address some of the comments here. So just to say hello, evening Ollie from Jamie Keynes. A spirited performance from the Cherries on Friday last week at Liverpool. Optimistic of a top half finish this season. Yes, I couldn't agree more. And I'm going to run through these comments and then give my opinions on it. I think that's going to be best. Sean, first thing, yes, there was a couple of players that I didn't think was good enough, but they all gave their all and tried, which is the most important thing in the first game. Couldn't agree more, Sean. Couldn't agree more. Ethan said that he might be back on, which is fantastic. Some more opinions. There we go. Salah, Mane, Firmino, best front three in the world, has come on and said, good day, lads. Good day. Appreciate you getting involved. Any opinions, thoughts, and feelings on the game on Friday, please do pop them in the chat, and I'll read them out and address them with everyone. Sean, yeah, that's fine. Jamie Keynes, thoughts on Diakite's debut for us, Ollie, and all Bournemouth fans watching. Second half, Liverpool looked really bad defensively. If only we were so clinical when we had all our chances, we may have got a draw, but I'm confident of 3 points at the weekend. Yes. Jamie, let me come back to this. I have some thoughts on the whole game, actually. You'll see me looking this way, as that's where most of my notes are. I think, firstly, the first thing to be addressed is Diakite's debut. I know that Ekitike scored in his debut, and that's fantastic for Liverpool fans. And I'm really happy that he settled into the squad like that. However, from a Bournemouth perspective, I cannot stress how happy I am that a centre-back like Diakite can go from France to Anfield within the space of a week of passing his medical and perform the way that he performed and gel the way that he gelled. Now, don't get me wrong, there was absolutely things that we can be progressing on and developing moving forward, for sure. There's always going to be, especially with Truffert and left-back, James Hill coming in, Senesi creating some controversial issues, should we say, which, again, I'd love to hear everyone's opinion on the red card handball situation at 35 minutes in, whether we think that's a card or not, but I'm not sure. However, first half, Liverpool did not have the composure that I expected them to come out with. I think Bournemouth could have done better, but looked strong. First game of the season away at Anfield. We shouldn't have looked as good as we did. I initially called 2-2 a couple of weeks ago. which we ended up clawing back with 2 fantastic Semenyo goals. And kind of, again, just hats off to Semenyo, not only for the way that he dealt with the issue in the first half, but also the 2 goals. The first one that he scored was just fantastic. You could see he was raring to go. He didn't want to pass that ball, and he slotted it away, and it's just fantastic. Second half, I don't think that they should have been able to claw it back 4-2. Their first goal, I think, was a little bit higgledy-piggledy. Maybe shouldn't have made it over the line at the time. And I don't think that their second half performance counteracted the first half performance for them either. But all in all, I think it was a fantastic first game for AFC Bournemouth. I think there's a ton of stuff that we can take away as positives. There was a limited amount of negatives there for me, only specific players, but I'm not going to name names because, again, if you've watched Cherry AM, that's not how we work here. There's a squad that can be developed and moulded here to be bloody fantastic, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I hope that answers your question, Jamie. I'm going to pull Malcolm back in just for a moment, just to hear his thoughts also on a couple of players and that Senesi controversial first half issue. Malcolm, welcome back. Give me some thoughts here. 2 standout players and red cards.
Okay, we go for the red card.
Go on.
I was waiting for it to happen. So I was sat open mouthed and thinking, Senesi, what have you done here? Oh my goodness me. And I think I was as confused as probably everybody in the stadium, even the commentary team. Couldn't understand what was happening. And suddenly, Bournemouth get a free kick. So what was that for? I'm sorry, I just did not see it. I just cannot understand what went on there. Yes, he did touch the ball. He leaned forward and he caught it with his fingertips. You could see it. Otherwise, it's got to be a red card. Being where he was, inside his own half with the attacker next to him. So that's my take on it.
Okay. Understood. And I can't imagine too many people who disagree. In regards to standout players.
Sorry, say again.
Standout players.
Traffair.
Okay.
If that's what you're referring to, the Cherries players, I take it.
Absolutely.
And Semenyo.
Yeah.
Absolutely beast. What a beast. To carry that ball from just inside his own penalty area, really, for his second goal. Brilliant. And it was very, very similar to Kluivert's goal against Notts Forest last season.
Yes.
Where he just kept running, and the defence kept running back and nobody going to him.
Yeah.
And just, wow, it was almost carbon copy, but brilliant, and that was the perfect answer to what went on in the first half. It was absolutely despicable. So those 2 and Petrovic as well. I mean, he couldn't do anything with the goals. Seems like a really solid keeper. It was a bit. Two of the goals were a little bit unlucky. I mean, the first one, obviously, it was a deflection, and Ekitike was, you got to take it out to him. He reacted fastest, and he made that little yard for himself and put it away. Brilliant. And I think it must have been the third goal that went in. 2 defenders went up for it. High booting, basically, dancing, and it just dropped to the player, and then whang, and it goes. But okay, but back to your question, Trofeo and Semenyo for me were the standout players, definitely.
Good, excellent, fantastic.
Back to the team.
Yeah. And in comes Sean. So I'm going to bring him in just a moment. Firstly, Ethan Burnley. Hi, Ollie, mate. Late to the party. Nice to see you here, Ethan. Good evening to you, mate. Sean, he's going to jump on in just a moment. Jamie, some refs, I reckon, may have given red for Dogso for Senesi, but luckily we got away with 1. What a solo run for Semenyo for the equaliser. He's going to be such a key player for us. Yeah, I mean, just touching on those 2 goals. David Brooks obviously threading the low pass through for Semenyo, and then his solo goal, both just absolutely incredible after obviously what he dealt with in the first half. But what a way to come back at it! What a way to come back and combat that kind of exposure to those things that you don't really like to see in the game nowadays. It's way out of date, and it shouldn't be expected or accepted in any realm of life or football. So look, moving on, let's get Sean in. I want to hear Sean's thoughts, opinions and feelings from Friday night. Sean is a Bournemouth fan that we all know and love from the show. Welcome, Sean.
All right then.
How you doing?
Love the new show.
Fantastic. How's things? Everything okay?
Yeah, not too bad. I thought I'll pop on if you want. And
Excellent.
that.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah.
I just had a quick. I just had a quick look at the highlights because just to remind me of stuff like that. The first thing, same with the handball thing. To me, that was easily a red card. You saw Senesi. He kind of tried to flick at it and that. So to me, that's an easy red card. It's just if he definitely touched it with his hand, that's got to happen. And I couldn't see a VAR angle that confirmed it, but it looked pretty much there. So I think, that was a red card. So we got lucky with that. He's saying with Semenyo when he done that long run, a little shout out for Traore as well, because he was the one that done that nice little pass to Semenyo to get him off on the run. So that was a nice little touch.
That's right. Yeah.
But as for the goals conceded, I had a look at them and I put Senesi on the first goal. Senesi should have been stronger. Didn't have much support. Obviously, he's going against world-class player and he was left one-on-one. And whenever that happens, if you've got it, I say Semenyo, Dango, they all do it. When you've got that striker forward that's just going to run straight at you and just keep going no matter, there's only so much you can do. He should have been a bit stronger, but we are playing Liverpool, so you've got to be realistic as well. With the second, I remember when I saw them, the Liverpool player going along the line and that, and every Bournemouth player was coming forward. And the one that didn't come forward, the third one, was Senesi. He didn't come forward. So again, I think it's down to him, but I think he would have left a man back if he did. So, so you say Senesi should have come out of the shot, but then, that. The third one was just a bit of communication, but, it's the first time they played together in like 3 days. So it was I can't say Dykite, whatever his name. I can't say. I will learn the names very well. And Winterburn, that obviously tried to go for the header, and because they both went for it at the same time, just didn't get the clearance. Yeah. And then Hill kind of fell asleep on the fourth goal. I mean, you got to say for Marcella, from going one side of the pitch to the other to get the ball, there's not many players that could do that, but. Yeah, he fell asleep for that.
Completely true to form, right? Like the stoppage time finisher, wrapping it up. It's what he does best, and you would have expected nothing less of him to have done that in the first game of the season, right?
Yeah, I say Masala's always going to be there, always going to be annoying, but when you go against the top teams, that's what you have to face in that. And as I said, our backline especially, it's the early stages for them, so they've got to get the right rhythm, and that possibly will still be adding more players anyway, and that, so it's going to be interesting. But the main thing is, if you said before the game, what would you want? You would want to see fight, you would want to see heart, you'd want to see a couple of goals ideally, but even if we lose, see us score a couple of goals, because that means we have that potential to score, which is what we always want, and then not go fresh. And I think losing 4-2 in the 88th minute, essentially, is certainly not a sign of being fresh against the champions. So I think, it's not nice to lose, but if you're going to lose, I don't think you could really do any work better than that. I mean, so
no, I completely agree.
You know what I mean?
I echo those thoughts, to be honest. Yeah, if you the fact that we've gone away, as I said, to Anfield, first game of the season against the previous champions, with both teams having huge strategic differences, essentially, with the reinforcements that they've both had to bring in and the transfers they've had to complete. Who could have told it would be a game like that? You know, I did say it was going to be explosive and electric, but it massively overachieved all expectations for me for the game.
Yeah,
Two
and
standouts for you?
standouts, Trafer and well, obviously, I'm not going to say Semenyo, obviously, but I want to give someone else a shout out. So Brooks, I'll say Trafer and Brooks.
Nice.
I think they done really good in that. So
Good.
they're the main ones.
Fantastic. Sean, appreciate your input and your opinions. And
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll see you again this week on Cherry AM or next week for the show. Thanks so much, mate.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
So just coming down to a few other bits and bobs that happened in the game. Obviously, we need to recognise Cody Gakpo's goal. 49 minutes in, fed by Ekitike. So his debut didn't just include a goal, it was also an assist, and he played fantastically for Liverpool. So shout out to him. Also, late drama with the sub coming on, Federico Chiesa, with another goal. When was that? 88 minutes, and then 90+4 with Salah. These things happen in football, right? Anything can happen on the day. Anything could have happened on that day. And luckily for us, we went out with the same mentality and the same thought process and the same frame of mind that we do with most games at the moment. And that is, we go out as a team, we play as a team, we win as a team, or we lose as a team, right? We're in this vision, this transfer into a certain type of club, and it looks like the last 2 years we've been completing that, and it's been looking fantastic. We're getting there. As of Friday's game, I'm super confident of where our standings will be as we work through the season. Unbelievably surprised by some of the players and how they played, how they gelled immediately, and I cannot express how much more I am excited moving forward, especially for our next game at Wolves. If we go and play like that, I mean, we're going to be storming some of the lower half or the lower bottom 10 sides. Now, I just want to finish off with some comments and a final bit from Malcolm in just a moment. Malcolm mentions here, does anyone know why Anthony Taylor gave a free kick to Bournemouth after the handball incident? I'm not 100% certain. If anyone else is, now's the time to speak up. Hi, everyone. Hi, Dan. Nice to see you, mate. Bit late to the show, but I'll let you off this time. I know you're always here on Cherry AMs. He says, hi, Malcolm. Jamie Keynes is going to feel strange seeing Dango potentially playing against us next Tuesday in the Cup, but hopefully a good reception from us. Yes, it's going to feel strange, but just like it felt strange playing Kirkes on Friday night, that also seemed a little bit odd. But these things happen, Jamie, and if anything, I'm actually looking forward to it, to see how Dango gets on. He's done some great things for the club, and I wish him all the best moving forward. Malcolm says hi to Daniel. Sean mentions about we score 5 against Brentford, then Dango comes on and scored 4. And you can be hoping there, Sean, for sure. But look, before I say my farewells for the first Cherry Slaps reaction show, it's not been too bad. There's a couple of Liverpool fans that have pulled out on us, so it would have been fantastic to have a lot of more input from those 3 or 4 Liverpool fans. But next week we go again, and I'm sure Wolves fans will be much more talkative. So we'll head down that route. Malcolm, I'm going to bring you back in for a moment, just on some final thoughts on how that game has left you feeling moving into the next game.
Very optimistic. My glass,
good.
As you know, my glass is always half full.
Yeah.
Buzzing, mate. Buzzing. Bring it on.
Good.
Our prediction was, I don't know, 9th, 10th, something like that, wasn't it? So nothing to be scared of. Nothing to be scared of.
I think it's fine.
One other thing, we've still got like 2 weeks transfer business to be done. Not just us, but the Premier League.
Yeah.
Wow. There's been some changes, mate.
So I believe me and you have got. I'm going to take you off just because of the echo. Me and Malcolm actually have got Cherry AM, I believe, in the morning together. And as we've been doing this show live to all you guys, there's been Bournemouth info popping off on my phone in regards to transfer news. So there are things happening behind closed doors. There's lots of things that have happened in the last week. So do tune in tomorrow morning for Cherry AM to see me and Malcolm. I'll let him say goodbye quickly before I take him away.
I'd have been very disappointed if you didn't do that. I'll see you in the morning, Ollie. And have a great evening, everybody. And thanks for having me on, mate.
Thanks for getting involved. And everyone in the chat, please do get involved tomorrow morning for Cherry AM. Obviously, that's our usual show. This Cherry Slap show, this was the first and the edition for the whole of the Premier League season. We're going to be continuing to test how good this works, continuing to see how much our chat likes it and how much the community gets involved. Please do share it, like and subscribe and press the notification bell if you're new here. But alternatively, up the cherries in all departments. Have a great evening all, and I will see you again very, very soon. Thanks so much.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
I should be like you, Mel.